our bodies. We wake up with them, live with them, and often scrutinize them daily. They are instruments of both profound pleasure and intense pain, silent witnesses to every victory and every setback. Yet many of us spend countless hours often on platforms like Instagram, comparing ourselves, yearning for a different physique, or even contemplating a radical makeover. But beneath the surface, regardless of its aesthetic, your body is an extraordinary feat of biological engineering. A complex system so intricate it's almost beyond human comprehension. Indeed, as the incomparable Shakespeare once penned, the human form is unlimited in thinking, admirable in its shape, and movement angelic in action godlike. Today we'll uncover precisely how your own body epitomizes this infinite amazement. You may have frequently heard the assertion that women exhibit superior resilience to disease and often excel in numerous other biological facets. However, when the conversation shifts to raw, unadulterated brute force, men, on average, decisively dominate. But have you ever paused to critically analyze the underlying reasons for this stark divergence? Scientific consensus indicates that, broadly speaking, men's upper bodies possess significantly more muscle mass than the average woman, staggering 75% more. This muscular advantage extends to their lower bodies, enabling them to grip, throw, and punch with greater power and to run at higher speeds. This isn't mere anecdotal observation. It's a deeply ingrained biological reality that we've collectively accepted as an immutable fact of life. Yet the crucial question remains, why? Why didn't women, through the crucible of evolution, develop comparable or even superior strength? Scientists offer a compelling explanation. Males across evolutionary timelines were primarily selected for combat. Our design at a fundamental level is for engagement and conflict. Consider the broader natural world in numerous species. Females often surpass males in size, but this adaptation is typically linked to their role in carrying and nurturing offspring. For land-dwelling, vertebrates, a category that unequivocally includes humans, the evolutionary trajectory favored larger, more robust males. This was driven by fierce inter-male competition for access to females, a primal imperative to procreate. This relentless historical struggle for mates has demonstrably culminated in men displaying a more pronounced propensity for overall violence. Startlingly, men account for approximately 80% of violent crimes. Furthermore, official statistics from April 2021 reveal that the United States prison population is comprised of 93.2% men. Does this data imply that men are inherently violent? One prominent scientist posits that men are not more violent because they are stronger. Rather, they evolved to be stronger because historical circumstances necessitated greater violence, thereby fundamentally shaping male psychology in myriad profound ways. Therefore, regardless of your personal perception of physical might, you are, by design, an evolved fighting machine. But let us now pivot to an even more intricate arena, the brain. Do men and women possess fundamentally different cognitive architectures? Let us tread with extreme caution, for this is a topic that can quickly lead to charges of neurosexism. We wish to offend no one, so allow us to simply relay the established data without prejudice. Several robust studies have indicated that men's brains demonstrate superior performance in spatial and motor tasks. When presented with a complex puzzle, for instance, men on average exhibit greater aptitude in mentally manipulating shapes to fit their designated positions. Conversely, a vocal contingent of scientists vehemently dismisses such findings as a form of neurosexism, labeling them as unsubstantiated myths. The verdict, therefore, remains out on these more granular distinctions. However, one undisputed fact stands: men's brains are on average physically larger than women's. Crucially, this size differential bears no direct correlation with overall intelligence. While the precise reasons remain a subject of ongoing debate, it is plausible that specific regions of the male brain are indeed larger due to evolutionary pressures. Some studies suggest these larger areas are intrinsically linked to survival instincts and rapid reactions to external stimuli. Conversely, similar research intimates that women may possess larger brain regions associated with language processing and emotional intelligence. Now let us shift our analytical lens to a subject often shrouded in euphemism, the male phallus. Your doctor would clinically refer to it as the penis. It is undeniably a remarkable biological apparatus, even if its intermittent demands can occasionally disrupt the tranquility of one's daily existence. First and foremost, this anatomical wonder is an indefatigable worker, even performing a night shift. Did you know that the average man experiences between 3 and 5 erections during the night, each often persisting for as long as 30 minutes? The logical query immediately arises: for what functional purpose, if one is entirely asleep? The precise medical designation for this nocturnal phenomenon is nocturnal penile tumescence. We highly doubt you would articulate this term to your partner upon her inquiring about an unexpected pressure on her leg. Essentially, these involuntary erections occur when your parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest and digest functions, is stimulated. Various inputs from visual cues and tactile sensations to memories and even auditory stimuli can trigger this response. Arteries within the organ dilate, blood surges in, and voila, liftoff. It is vital to clarify that the penis is not a muscle. It is more accurately characterized as a specialized sponge-like tissue that engorges with blood. Even as other bodily functions slow during sleep, the parasympathetic nervous system remains fully engaged. Therefore, these erections are not a product of explicit dreams or the accidental proximity of a lover's leg, but simply an indicator of a healthy, well-functioning nervous system. The ultimate evolutionary purpose of this nocturnal activity, beyond simply demonstrating physiological health, remains an intriguing scientific enigma. One scientist even controversially declared that these nighttime erections serve no discernible purpose whatsoever, being merely a byproduct of neural activity. So, next time you awaken, feeling as though a large Toblerone has been discreetly inserted into your underwear, rest assured there's nothing to worry about. Now let us tackle a question that has undoubtedly lingered in many minds: the distinction between a grower and a shower. Do some men exhibit an already formidable appendage at rest, while others appear to carry little more than a lip balm in their trousers? It's crucial to recall that even a lip balm with sufficient stimulation can nearly double its size. Indeed, the existence of growers is not folklore, but a scientifically validated reality. One comprehensive study involving 2,770 men revealed that those with a smaller, flaccid size experienced an astonishing 86% increase in length upon full erection. In stark contrast, their counterparts, the bigger boys, demonstrated an average growth of only 47%. This compelling data suggests that fundamentally the playing field tends to level out when men engage in intimate activity. As the venerable adage wisely cautions, "Don't judge a book by its cover," scientists emphatically state that a man's true erect size cannot be accurately judged until observed in its full majestic glory. Current research indicates that approximately 80% of men fall into the grower category, with the remaining 20% being showers. Continuing our exploration of topics that might induce a slight blush, it's worth noting a fascinating anatomical detail: men possess a G-spot. Indeed. Navigate approximately 2 inches into the rectum and you will discover it. Specifically, it resides in the perineum, the region situated between the scrotum and the anus. With the application of measured pressure, and let us emphasize not excessive force, it can be stimulated. Intriguingly, this area may also be activated during the act of defecation, reportedly inducing a sensation some have termed euphoria. Documented cases even describe defecation-induced orgasms, although achieving such a heightened state usually requires the passage of at least one particularly substantial package. Furthermore, it may surprise you to learn that men are physiologically capable of producing milk and consequently of breastfeeding. This assertion is remarkably entirely true. However, it typically necessitates the administration of specific hormonal drugs. A poignant instance occurred in 2002 in Sri Lanka, where a man successfully fed his 2 infants after his wife's passing. He quite literally stepped in and saved the day. While uncommon without medical intervention, certain physiological stresses can indeed trigger increased production of the hormone prolactin in the male body, starvation being one such factor. While prolactin levels naturally surge in pregnant women, a similar, albeit anomalous, increase can sometimes be observed in men. This, however, is considered a biological anomaly, not an inherent evolutionary requirement for the male of the species. Driven by hormonal influences, men generally exhibit a more pronounced body odor compared to women. Conversely, women possess a distinctly superior olfactory sense, enabling them to detect and interpret these subtle scents with greater acuity. Scientific investigations reveal that a man's unique scent provides women with invaluable subconscious clues about potential compatibility for mating. Specifically, women are biologically predisposed to find men with higher testosterone levels more attractive, a trait they can discern through their finely tuned sense of smell. Furthermore, research has consistently demonstrated that single men tend to have elevated testosterone levels compared to their partnered counterparts, a logical evolutionary adaptation for those actively seeking to attract a mate. Let us now shift our focus to a commonplace domestic dispute that plagues households globally: the thermostat wars. Did you know that men typically maintain a slightly warmer baseline body temperature than women? This likely comes as no surprise, as countless individuals have experienced the classic scenario where one partner is shivering while the other remains comfortably warm. The scientific rationale beyond mere clothing choices is quite straightforward. Men generally possess a greater proportion of muscle mass, which necessitates a higher metabolic rate to fuel these tissues, consequently burning more calories. This metabolic activity intrinsically generates heat, and as this heat dissipates from the body, it warms the skin. As one medical professional succinctly articulated, men are equipped with their own little heaters. Studies corroborate this, showing that women usually find a room most comfortable when it is marginally warmer than the temperature men deem optimal. So rather than engaging in endless debates, it is perhaps more productive to simply acknowledge and accept this inherent physiological difference. When examining the integumentary system, or skin, it is scientifically established that men's skin is anywhere from 20 to 30% thicker than that of a woman. Furthermore, male skin tends to be firmer, a characteristic that becomes increasingly evident with advancing age. This inherent structural difference largely explains why women typically develop wrinkles earlier than men, often resulting in men appearing relatively younger as they age. Our apologies, ladies. As one researcher clarified, female skin thinning occurs at a significant pace after menopause, leading to signs of skin aging in older women being generally more pronounced as compared to men in the same age group. Beyond physiological factors like work and stress, even seemingly trivial pursuits, such as sunbathing for a tan or laboring to cultivate crops, can impact skin health. Moving into later life, men can experience a condition uncannily similar to premenstrual syndrome, aptly named irritable male syndrome (IMS). This syndrome typically manifests as a man ages and his testosterone levels begin to decline. However, IMS is not exclusively an affliction of old age, as male testosterone levels can fluctuate for various reasons throughout life, potentially dropping or even increasing within a single day. When IMS strikes, men may experience a constellation of symptoms including fatigue, depression, diminished self-esteem, anger, anxiety, and general moodiness. When this testosterone decline becomes chronic and sustained in older age, it is medically referred to as male menopause. Nevertheless, a subset of men possesses a remarkable genetic gift that keeps on giving. They retain the capacity to father children at an exceptionally advanced age, even if their youthful vigor may have waned considerably. A compelling example emerged in 2010 when Mr. Ramajit Raghav of India garnered global attention for fathering a child at the astonishing age of 94. Even more incredibly, he welcomed another child just 2 years later. While extreme, it is not entirely unheard of for men to continue procreating well into their winter years. Though the probability of conceiving may diminish with age, men continue to produce viable testosterone and sperm cells even as they may require the assistance of a Zimmer frame. It is generally around the age of 40 that the quality of male sperm typically begins to noticeably decline. Furthermore, sperm from older fathers may carry a higher risk of leading to certain abnormalities in their offspring. No man willingly embraces hair loss, yet it remains an inescapable biological reality for many. The prevailing popular belief suggests that bald men exhibit heightened sexuality due to elevated testosterone levels. But is this a verifiable scientific truth, or merely a pervasive myth? Firstly, to all the baldies out there, do not despair. Studies on attraction have unequivocally demonstrated that women consider a multitude of factors far beyond the density of hair on a man's head. Indeed, some research even indicates that a cleanly shaven scalp is perceived as more masculine and attractive by women, though admittedly, this is debatable. The impeccably bald head of a celebrity like Jason Statham is hardly comparable to the unfortunate reality of a man attempting to conceal his receding hairline with a thoroughly unsuccessful comb-over. Research has shown a preference among women for men who have definitively shaved off all their hair, as opposed to those attempting to camouflage thinning hair. As for the purported link between baldness and virility, the scientific landscape is far more complex. Men who have undergone castration, possessing virtually no testosterone, can paradoxically still retain a full head of hair. Conversely, men experiencing significant hair loss might indeed have low testosterone levels. The critical determinant for hair loss is not testosterone itself, but rather genetic predisposition. Therefore, in conclusion, if you find yourself experiencing baldness, blame your genetic heritage, your mom and dad, not the erroneous notion that you are a hypersexual being. Finally, let us address the Adam's apple. Why do men typically develop more prominent ones? This cartilaginous structure, located in the throat, undergoes significant growth during puberty. Men commonly possess a larger larynx and consequently a more pronounced Adam's apple. This physiological difference is the primary reason behind their characteristically deeper voices. However, for both men and women, the ultimate size these structures attain is intrinsically regulated by hormones, explaining why some individuals, regardless of gender, possess deeper voices than others. As for the evolutionary advantage of men developing larger voice boxes and Adam's apples, some scientists hypothesize that this adaptation served a dual purpose in ancestral environments to enhance attractiveness to the opposite sex through a deeper vocal resonance and to project a more threatening auditory presence to male rivals. The human body in all its male and female forms is a truly astonishing testament to evolution, a symphony of biological design choices that continue to shape our very existence. Understanding these intricate differences isn't about judgment or hierarchy, but about embracing the rich, diverse tapestry of human biology with curiosity and respect. If this deep dive into the male physique intrigued and enlightened you, we encourage you to hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear these facts, and leave a comment below telling us which revelation surprised you the most